This is the LG OLED C9 2019 model. This is the 65-inch. It also comes in a 55 or a 77-inch. Those are the three option tiers for this particular model. This is a very high-end, very thin screen. This is literally the thinnest screen that I've seen up close. I am familiar with LG's line in regards to CES. I was able to see their roll-up screen, so I guess that might have been thinner. This is damn thin. The screen itself is very clear, very crystal clear, and then it's got a small kind of base at the bottom. There's not a lot to grip when you are first setting it down, but once you get it set down, it is smooth and just a seamless viewing experience. Is actually just rather stunning. So this is a 4K 3840 by 2160 screen. It's got HDR support, it's got Atmos support, it's got DTSX, it's got basically everything you would want in terms of quality, picture, and visuals. I watched a number of movies, played a number of games, and listened to music on this because it also has support for Bluetooth devices, which is really great. We're going to dig into that more. So I played a wide range of games and movies. So movies, 4K, some of lower resolution quality too, so I get an idea of how it upscales because there's a 4K upscaler built into this with the processor. It features A9 Generation 2 processor, which makes it faster and giving you better rendering, everything like that. Basically, it looks great even from 720 all the way up to 4K, and obviously testing 1080 as well in there. Movies such as La La Land, The Dark Knight Rises in 4K, The Evil Dead, and Avengers as well. And that's just to get an idea of how it feels cinematically and to get a cool glimpse into what it can really do. I also saw Thor Ragnarok, which had colors that just popped in the 4K. It was seriously just simply stunning. And we also saw that Ready Player One, which was a great viewing in 4K as well. Again, with the HDR and the Atmos support, which are fairly standard these days in these TV lines. So generally, this is the best TV I've ever really had the pleasure of viewing. It looks fantastic. The things it does with games, Halo the Master Chief Collection, is just absolutely remarkable with this enhancement because that one runs at 4K 60 FPS with HDR support across the board, and a number of other titles such as Forza Horizon 4, Gears 4, Gears 5 because the tech test was running, and Minecraft 2, and a number of other titles as well that were available while I was playing it. Because I'm reviewing games, they come in and they go all the time, so you get a good array. Wolfenstein Youngblood, I actually ran through the whole thing on here and it looks fantastic. So moving past that, this has support for ThinkQ AI, Google Assistant, Amazon Alexa, and you access that through the button. You can hold, and you can do like certain hold-click things in order to activate different settings in regards to the audio. And we'll just throw a test up here so you can see what that looks like. What's the weather in Calgary?
Right now in Calgary, it's 23 degrees.
Great, there's also support for Dolby Vision as well as Dolby Atmos. So Vision is sort of the standard for visual quality, as Atmos is for audio theater sound that you're used to when you go to a premium theater, at least where I'm from. There's 8.3 million individually lit pixels in regards to the screen, which looks fantastic. It has Apple AirPlay 2 support so that you can just sort of cast your devices on there, your iPhone, your iPads, your iMacs, if that's something that you do have. A great option because I do have an iPhone XS, and it was nice to use that with the TV, especially rather than all the other issues of having to plug lightning in and everything like that. It can be a real pain, so that was just a nice smooth experience, and it's great that Apple is sort of offering that with the major TV brands with 2019. So that's fantastic. WebOS support, universal apps, so you got a web browser that you can use. Basically all the kinds of apps you need. There's YouTube, there's Netflix. Actually, somebody that was previously reviewing this left their Netflix account on, so I was on there and I played some fun kind of things on the guys, the adult father's account, I would imagine. Gilmore Girls, Gossip Girl, and stuff like that, in order to wreck his queue, because you're supposed to wipe these things when you do send them out review-wise, so that's just kind of a funny little tidbit in there. So audio, you get 2.2 channels, Atmos, DTS, HD recorder, LG SoundSync, and Bluetooth 5.0, again, so you can connect your devices to it and stuff like that. I did review this with the LG soundbar that was sent alongside it, so two separate review things. That was the SL91G, and yeah, it definitely was a nice immersive extra experience. On top of that, I did have, for the first part of my reviewing with the TV by itself without the soundbar, and then the second half with the soundbar so that I could test that out. So I do know what it sounds like playing and listening and watching things on here with and without the soundbar. I just thought I would mention that, and you can watch the soundbar review in order to kind of get more of an idea of what that's like with the TV, so that's kind of a nice extra. The output is 40 watts, and it has a 20-watt woofer, Wi-Fi support for 802.11 AC. The TV, this particular one, has 4 HDMI, 3 on the side, 1 on the rear, and it's on this side where I'm at, right behind the TV in the little tiny base section. There's also 3 USB, 2 on the rear and 1 on the side. It's got a composite input and an RS232C input. That's on the rear. It's got an Ethernet port, a digital optical port, which is what I use with the soundbar, and that is on the rear again in that little area. So this has a power AC of 120 watts, 50/60 hertz in regards to that wattage, and it has a standby of under 0.5 watts of power when it's just sitting there. It also goes into a nice sort of like cinematic viewing moment when everything is turned off. So you get like a picture frame, and it looks really lovely on this TV. The colors and everything, just the vibrancy just pops. It's actually absolutely remarkable to look at. Visually, such a treat. I will comment though that I wish the screen was a little bit less reflective. You do get those true black colors, which is great, but at night and stuff like that, and during the day, you do see some reflection on the screen, which you're not really seeing through the recording, but I can notice it. It's a lot better than with other TVs, so that's appreciated, but still I'd like to see less reflection. You get a nice viewing of the screen, whether or not you are dead on or to the sides of it. It's got a really good angle viewing from practically any direction, which is fantastic. It looks clean, sharp. The colors pop. It's fantastic, and there's a lot of options for adjusting just how it looks and the settings and everything like that. Everything you would expect in a modern TV. So there's also VESA mounting, width times height, 300 by 200, which is kind of fairly standard. As far as I understand the mounting thing, I don't mount TVs, but that option is present. So yeah, there's pixel level 4K upscaler, like I had mentioned, the upscaling. This is really good in regards to getting those colors there. There's billion color range, HDR10 plus support, dynamic tone mapping pro, and a number of other kind of behind the hood enhancements just to give you the best picture. Seriously, things do pop. When reviewing it, I did turn off the sort of motion blur option. I know a lot of TVs sort of have that standard these days. I don't believe in it because filmmakers tell you to turn it off, so I don't use it. I did test some things with it on and then turned it off, and just so I get an idea of how it looks. You can leave that option on, but I am suggesting you do turn it off because you get that more natural picture sound, or not picture sound, but picture quality that you are supposed to be getting when you're watching a cinematic experience. I thought that was something that was worth mentioning. Generally, yes, I'm very impressed with the screen. This is the best sort of TV I've, really ever used for an extended period of time. It looks great for my games, it looks great for my movies, and it sounds really good. The audio quality is absolutely fantastic in this. The screen is so ridiculously thin, it's silent, it really pops that sound out still. I will say, again, it's a little bit hard to move. It's not heavy as to say, but it's a little bit awkward because the screen is so thin. It does place nice and easy. It's not something that is too weighted, and it definitely does deliver a quality TV experience that is fantastic to see. When it comes to the TV on the stand, as shown, we are getting a 5.7 by 33.9 by 9.9 inches just for the dimensions of the TV, and it weighs 74.7 pounds. When it doesn't have the stand, it is 55.6 pounds, just so you have an idea of the weighting of the actual TV. Just in case you're looking at where am I going to place this, how am I going to place that information is kind of important. And again, going back to the mounting options, so you can put this up on the wall nice and easy, and it should flatly blend into the environment very seamlessly. I thought the size would be too big, but I actually really love the 65-inch option. I think that will definitely be my next TV choice when I go do buy one myself in the future. This is a fantastic option. I think terms and quality, if you are able to afford this TV, it's a great option. If you are looking at it, I'd highly suggest it because it is a visual treat. Again, certain things such as La La Land with the HDR and the Atmos, the colors, the lighting is just incredible. There's one scene where they're out kind of in the patio, and that's what we use as a marker for HDR quality, and it looked fantastic. Number of other movies all looked really good in this. It's just stunning. Thor Ragnarok, there's a part where the Hulk, they're cheering and chanting, and there's all these green colors. And the visuals were just absolutely eye-melting there. They look fantastic. Really good quality. The games look great. I mean, it's more true colors, and you just really get a higher sort of visual quality to it that really is great. I was using the Xbox One X in order to really get the most out of this screen, and I do suggest having a 4K enabled console in order to get the most for your gaming experience out of this TV. I mean, you do get the upscale on the lower end consoles, but I mean, if you're getting this kind of bracketed TV, you should have a high tier console to play with it in order to really get the most out of it. So whether you're listening to music through it, which is great through the Bluetooth 5.0, which is fantastic. You just cast it and listen to music all you want through the Bluetooth, which is great. You can also, I mean, just go into your media library on your server and watch movies and everything like that. Everything seems to work. I did have some issues casting to it, but I think that was just the setup with it. That being said, it plays everything I kind of threw at it. There's tons of different options for tweaking the visuals. The sounds, so you want like a vivid screen, you want a different kind of sound tweaking to it. There's all these different options and settings that you can change in order to really get the most out of your TV. And I think it's just really well done. I give this a 9 out of 10. You can read my full review in the description below. If you have any questions about the TV, let me know. But this is a really good option. I mean, I really don't have too many complaints about this one. It delivers in almost every category. It's sleek, it's cool looking. I can't believe how thin it is. I really can't. Even when you just look at the back of the TV, there's just a high sense of quality with it's like a crystal liquid look that you just kind of get lost in.